Kemet is an amazing game requiring lots of strategy, tactics, and boldness. One of the keys to winning at this game is to understand the different pyramids and how they can assist you in your victory. We'll take a look at the red power tiles and more here today on Legendary Tactics. In the course of doing my research for this video, I found the article written by Brian Henk of Pull the Pin Games to be especially useful, and I wanted to give him credit here. Kemet is an amazingly balanced game, with many paths to victory. The tech tree, for lack of a better term, will be the main way that players differentiate themselves from each other, and allow them to create a unique faction profile each and every game. During play, you may only partially get to decide what path you will take, as you will likely end up choosing the tiles of a color that has not been taken by your opponents, which ensures you the greatest selection of upgrades. As red tiles generally tend to be the most fun, the competition to acquire them will be fierce. Today we'll focus on the powers granted by the red pyramid, which promote an aggressive attack first, ask questions later approach. At level 1, we first have Charge. This gives a player an edge in battle when attacking with a +1 to your strength, which is perfect for an aggressive red strategy. It can, however, suit any player. It is a good, affordable pickup for any strategy, and the benefit lasts the entire game. Stargate is a tile that gives players a discount to teleport, which players will typically use once per turn. Therefore, this tile essentially helps you to save a bunch of prayer points over the course of the game, which can really benefit a red strategy, which requires a lot of moving and dealing with a shortage of prayer points. Otherwise, it's of average value, not even very good for a defensive strategy, and best if you have no creatures or just one. Godspeed is okay, giving you +1 to your movement, but between all the movement bonuses from red creatures, teleporters, and even the board layout, this is the least useful level 1 red tile. Primarily, this helps a slow +1 movement creature get up to speed, so to speak, although if you get it, it is nice to be able to move a troop from any temple or city to a center temple without having to teleport. It can also help with some powerful moves in the late game. At level 2, we start with the appropriately named Carnage, which gives all of your troops +1 to their damage. This tile will take a huge toll on your opponents over the course of the game, and will be a good deterrent to discourage them from attacking you. It is especially good in games with a lower player count. The offensive strategy card allows you to swap out a battle card you don't like for a card that is, overall, better. In this way, you can craft your battle cards deck somewhat to better suit your strategy. Though it isn't usually worth the cost, if you take this one, you will generally want to drop the +2/+2 card to upgrade. Open Gates, which simply allows your troops to ignore all wall effects, will likely be used later in the game to take control of weakly defended level 4 pyramids, to score a final victory point or two. There is one Divine Intervention card in the deck which grants you this same ability, as does the Phoenix. While it gives you some interesting options, it isn't a necessary tile for any strategy in particular. It likely won't be used until the final turn of the game, so make sure that if you get it, you pair it with some creature movement bonuses to strike far and wide. Teleport, which allows you to teleport a troop from an obelisk, is a great tile for an aggressive strategy. Use it to jump from temple to temple, attacking where your opponents are weakest, racking up victory points in the process. While it's not always the most useful tile, it can be quite powerful at times, and it allows you to control one temple while threatening other ones at the same time. At level 3, the red power tiles are all great, and it's tough to choose between them, as you can't have them all. First of all, we get a really cool creature with the Royal Scarab. For the low price of 3 prayer points, not only do you get +2 attack, but also +2 movement, which allows a troop to reach the center temple from another temple without having to teleport. This will save a bunch of prayer points. This is arguably the best creature in the game, especially at low player counts, as it works for every strategy. Next, we have the Blades of Neath, which gives you +1 strength in all battles, a supercharged charge tile. A savvy player may wait to take this tile until after taking the Scarab, because players tend to overvalue the cool looking creatures and pass over great tiles like this one. This is great though, as it can be useful for all strategies, even defensive ones. Divine Wound is a flexible power, allowing a player to boost strength as needed to win at combat, but at the cost of Divine Intervention cards. battles are costly to lose, as they can hand your competition a permanent victory point, so it can certainly be worth a DI card or two to ensure victory. This tile pairs well with another that acts as a source of divine intervention cards like Mummy or Divine Boon. It also has the beneficial side effect of making even the bad divine intervention cards worth hanging onto. And finally, the last tile at this level is a victory point. You will want to time this purchase until late in the game, lest you make yourself more of a target to others. Make sure you snap it up before someone else does, though. The red level 4 power tiles are usually what catches most people's attention. They are certainly impressive. The first is the Phoenix. This creature gives you +2 to the attack and +1 to movement, which most importantly can be used to traverse city walls. A late game Phoenix flying into a city to capture a level 4 pyramid can be a devastating and potentially game-ending move. In fact, it's a great way to end the game quickly. It's not the best creature as it is expensive and there are other ways to get through city walls, but it can work well in the right situation. Active God's extra silver token is great, provided that you have the prayer points needed to take the actions you want to take. If you are low on prayer points, it can be a bit limited in its usefulness, but if nothing else, you can use it to take a pray action to get those extra prayer points to use somewhere else. Initiative is another superb tile. It's usable right away and immediately eliminates 2 enemy units upon entering their space. This can really slow your opponents down, not to mention giving you a distinct advantage in combat. The only disadvantage is that if there are 2 units or less in the target space, you don't get the permanent victory point for winning the battle, as combat technically never happened. But combine this with other forms of damage dealing, and you can wipe out the enemy troop whether you actually win or lose the combat. This is arguably one of the most powerful tiles in the game, although there are counters to it in the expansion and promotional material released since the base game. And finally, the main attraction, the giant scorpion. This is easily the most eye-catching of the creatures and the one that most players just want, whether they win the game or not. This creature is powerful as well, although it needs a couple of turns to really get into the action to be effective and a worthwhile purchase. While the scarab is better overall, as it is cheaper and can get into action sooner, with +1 movement, +2 strength, and +2 damage, this scorpion is pretty good. With a red strategy, the name of the game here is pure aggression. You're going to want to add strength bonuses and use them to attack often, hopefully twice per turn. You may find yourself even recalling troops after a victory if it helps you to maintain the momentum. You want to try and throw others off their game by not giving them the time they need to build up. Your win is typically secured with permanent victory points won on the battlefield. Remember that permanent victories earned by winning battles is the endgame tiebreaker as well, so all you need to do is at least tie for the win and you will come home with all the glory. So what is the best build order for someone pursuing the red path? Because you won't have a lot of prayer points, you need to focus them and buy only power tiles that give you an edge in battle, and maybe a small amount of economy. Here's what that could look like. Start with the red pyramid at level 2 and the white pyramid at level 1. You will need some help with your economy from the white power tiles. On turn 1, start with the priestess. It's a white power tile, but as prayer points will be at a premium for you, the discount it provides you is very valuable. After that, get charge and level up your white pyramid. Turn 2 should come with the purchase of Crusade, the level 2 white tile that gives you prayer points for each unit you destroy in battle, or High Priest as a backup. Then add to your mobility with Stargate. Turn 3, you can level up your red pyramid and then buy the Royal Scarab. Also, take the white tile Divine Boon if you can, as it will be a source of divine intervention cards to feed Divine Wound, if you go that route. But DI cards are always useful, no matter the situation. By turn 4, prayer points will be at a premium, so you may only be able to afford the Blades of Neath. On turn 5, level up your red pyramid to level 4 and buy initiative to really start doing some damage to large enemy troops. Then finally on turn 6 you can buy the Phoenix or Giant Scorpion, whatever is available, and which best suits your strategy and the situation on the board. Turn 7, buy the red victory point, hopefully ending the game with a victory a full turn before anyone is in position to win. So what if you are facing someone who is also running with the red strategy? This is likely as red tiles are quite popular. Your focus in that case needs to be on causing damage. If you force them to lose a lot of troops, a player focusing on the red path won't typically have a lot of prayer points to rebuild. It will really slow them down, hampering their efforts to try and rush the game, so that is your best counter. We hope this video gave you some strategy ideas on how to win with the red power tiles in Kemet. If it was of help to you, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And please consider becoming a member of the channel and supporting us in doing what we do. Thank you for your time. This is Legendary Tactics.